All right, thanks, guys. A local woman is gracing the cover of the latest issue of People magazine. It's a very special edition called Half Their Size, featuring regular people with extraordinary weight loss stories. And one of those cover models is Ashley Donahoo of Pace, and she is joining us this morning to share her amazing weight loss journey with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Quite a story, and you do look amazing.
Thank you.
So we want to talk about this. In June 2010, you were 25 years old. You had a number of medical problems and just a few on prescription medications for depression, high blood pressure, anemia, pre-diabetes. What led up to those medical conditions?
Honestly, they were really all results of the weight and not taking care of myself, not nourishing myself properly, not exercising, and it led up over several years. And people don't realize that weight and not taking care of your body, all those medical problems can be avoided if you turn it around. And I didn't realize that. You know, I thought, okay, well, I can get a prescription for that. And really, you start taking care of yourself, and all those things start to go away. So.
At that point, how much did you weigh?
I weighed in at 288, my last official weigh-in. I think I know I got heavier than that, but I don't really know. So just under 300 pounds.
Psychologically speaking, was there ever a point, or were there points when you looked in the mirror yourself and said, wow, you know, I need to do something about this. I need to make a change?
Yeah, for years, actually, I hated who I saw in the mirror. It was a very much self-loathing, emotional, mental struggle. But you don't realize it because it comes on slowly over several years. And people have asked me, you know, didn't you know you were gaining weight? Well, yeah, I did. I had to buy bigger sizes. But you're so lost in, there's so many mental and emotional things going on that it just comes on so slowly, and you just stop caring. You're taking care of kids, you're working, you know, I put myself back through school and moving and all these things in your life that take up time, that you focus your priorities there, and yourself takes a back seat. And that's what happened to me. And I had to put myself back in the front seat.
You have children, you have a husband.
I do.
You were focusing on them.
Yes, I was.
Okay, now let's talk about what led up to you making that change, because your doctors had already told you this is not a good path, you need to change. But sometimes, you know, you have to realize things for yourself. You can't have somebody else telling you. We were just talking about that during Paige's segment. You can't have somebody else telling you you need to do this, especially when it's somebody who's little. You know, you need to make a change for yourself. So you were on a walk with your husband, and that's kind of when you realized, okay, it's time.
Yeah, and halfway through, we weren't even halfway down our block, and I was out of breath, which was ridiculous because we were walking very slowly. But I was out of breath, my legs hurt, my feet hurt, my back hurt, and it was like a baseball hit me in the head. And I realized, you know, I can't keep doing this, and I've let myself go so far, and I realized that I had to take responsibility for what I was doing. I could no longer blame bad genetics. I could no longer blame that our food now isn't the same quality. I couldn't blame, you know, medical problems anymore. And once I took responsibility for that, when I got home, I started making the change little by little, one thing at a time. And I want people to realize that's really all they have to do.
And those priorities that you're putting before yourself, your husband, your kids, if the weight gets to you and causes all these other medical conditions, they won't have you.
Exactly.
So then you have to think about that as well. So we all want to know how you did it, because as I mentioned, you look incredible.
Thank
you.
So
what did you do?
Really, I started tracking my food and exercise on livestrong.com. It's a free website. I am a poster child for them, and it tracks everything for you. You can put in recipes, and it will give you a nutrition label for your recipe. I just started changing out like ground beef or ground turkey instead of ground beef, and little things like that, fat-free milk and low-fat yogurt, and things like that. Counting my calories, keeping track of it, eating consciously instead of eating mindlessly. And I started walking, and then I had a couple yoga DVDs or workout DVDs, and I couldn't do very much at first, but you take one step at a time, and it's progress, not perfection.
Absolutely. And how do you feel now?
Amazing. I hate to say a weight's been lifted, but it really has. And I'm a much better mother, I'm a much better wife, I'm a much better friend, family member, daughter, and I just have a better disposition in general because I'm happier with myself.
Absolutely. And those before and after pictures, I mean, incredible. incredible. Looking back at those, I mean, do you look and say, look what I've done, look what I've accomplished, and just feel incredible?
It is, but it's still very surreal. I look at the before pictures, and I look at how sad I was. You can see in my eyes that I'm just very unhappy. And at the time I didn't realize how unhappy I was until I got to the other side of it, so to speak. But I look back at it and I'm like, oh, I'm just such a different person now. Just every part of me is this different person.
Now, if that's not motivation enough, do you have anything else you'd like to say to someone who might be where you were before, who's been struggling with their weight, who's trying to lose weight?
Well, I really wanted to get my story out there so I could help people. I didn't have anybody telling me, you don't have to join a program. You don't have to kill yourself at a gym 3 hours a day. You don't have to starve yourself or take pills. And, you know, you don't have to do those things. You can do it at home. And I want to show people that you really can. It is possible to reach your goals one step at a time. I've set up a Facebook page, Ashley Donahoo, Choose to Change. I launched a new website last night, choose2change.net. I'm working on books, speaking engagements. I just want to get the message out there that you really can. You can do it.
Yes.
You stick with it and you commit to it. Small changes and focus on progress. You'll never be perfect. Focus on progress. That's the important thing.
Absolutely. Wonderful message out there. Thank you so much for joining us. And you can pick up that issue of People magazine, Half Their Size, on stands until this Friday. And it really is a fantastic issue. There it is. That's what it looks like. So make sure you grab that. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you for having me.